Do you know what the worst thing about ED is? Is that it ruins so many golden opportunities. One time I got hooked into this group and there was, all these girls, and there was 3 really cute girls in there. And for whatever reason, my game was strong. And so I was killing it with them, all 3 of these girls. And so I think at one point, the 3rd place girl was kind of like, could tell that I was gonna be cleaning up with these 3 girls. So the 3rd place girl, she's smart, so she goes and she steps up and gets super aggressive with me. And I'm like, oh shit, okay, I'll close the deal, no problem. And so I did. Now what happened was, I couldn't get my shit up. And so it was embarrassing for me, but that's not the problem here. The problem is I'm quite confident that after I failed to get up with her 2 nights in a row, she gave me 2 chances, God bless her heart. 2 chances, then all of a sudden, those other 2 girls, who by the way were prettier, those 2 girls, they friend zoned me so quickly. And I'm quite confident that girls talk about men behind, in their own, girl knitting, female knitting group, that type of stuff. They do that because once I hooked up with that 3rd place girl, immediately friend zoned by the other 2. And so had I been a fucking superstar, I would have cleaned up all 3 of them. Because that's exactly what another guy did. He, who was not even as attractive as me, but he had a fucking rocket that worked, and he basically cleaned up all the girls. And all the girls just he just plowed through them. And so I lost a great opportunity to be the man because my goddamn penis did not work. And so that's why we have to fix this problem, man. We do. So I'm going to be talking today about how we can actually leverage porn to overcome ED. So most people think that, the problem with porn is it overloads your dopamine receptors and then you can't respond because you're desensitized to sex, to real person, and you're just recalibrated to pixels. That's the theory, at least. Problem with that theory is it's not true. If you look onto these no-fap boards, they are clearly not booming with success. And why is that? Because if any disciplined person who was addicted to, I don't know, margaritas or Twinkies, if you're this fat fuck who's totally into waffles, and then someone forced you to eat, what's something healthy? I don't know, just broccoli all day, right? Let's say he was disciplined enough to do that. He could recalibrate his taste buds within 30 days. If he was super on it, he could do it in 30 days. And then he won't be eating, pancakes all day. He wouldn't need to. And his taste buds would be recalibrated. But how is it that people are not fixing their ED after abstaining porn for years, months, years? You'll see it on the board. I don't even have to show it to you. Just try to look for success stories. There's few and far in between. They're constantly having issues. Even when they have some success, they go back to having issues. And this happens because they fall away. They don't keep talking about it. All of a sudden they go quiet. Why? Because the same problems are creeping up. So once you can understand that it's not a dopamine receptor problem, then I need you to understand something else. Erections, when we were younger, was an expansion event. We would expand. Blood flow would go into our penis and we would get erect. But today, when we have ED, we are now a contraction event. Now, I can't send this link to you on this channel because this is on a porn website. And even though the title of it is Watch My Blank Go Hard, it's not me, okay? I just want to be very clear, it's not me. I'm gonna have a link to a subreddit, my subreddit, and in my subreddit, I'm gonna have this link to this not safe for work video that is going to show you what a contraction erection looks like. Because I can almost guarantee you two things. One is this guy is on his path to ED, 100%. Number two, you are probably doing the same thing in order to get an erection. And so the big thing is this is a problem because this is what we do when our penises, or peni for plural, can't get naturally hard. And so what we have to do is retrain our muscles to do something different. So what you should do, just as a form of practice, is aim to achieve an erection without doing this pelvic pump. You'll see in the video, again, I'm gonna put the link in the subreddit post, because it's not safe for work. He's doing a pelvic pump in order to get an erection. What you need to do, just as step one, is to practice trying to achieve an erection without using this pelvic pump. And for now, there's no rules. You can do whatever you want. You can look at whatever porn you want. You can do whatever you want, to get your stuff going. I know you have your own process. You probably have your little tea on the side and, massage oils. I know everyone has their thing. You can make it romantic. Put a candle on, put some music. Get in your way, because you're gonna find that without using this pelvic pump, it's gonna be a lot more difficult for you to get your erection. And practice this. So if you're, soloing yourself and you still haven't quit porn completely, use this as how to get your erection. And with enough practice, you're going to start to create a new pathway. There's new pathways are going to start to emerge, and you're going to learn how to attain an erection without this pelvic pump. And the goal is to learn how to achieve erections without having to contract. This is just the first step and of a very long journey of resetting how your body works. And you do this as a first step, and you'll be able to start to understand how your body works. And I don't know how much of this plays into it, but I'm going to also be honest with you. I am an athlete, and I have a very good sense of my body. So much higher than normal people. If you've never played a sport, if you don't work out, you need to start doing that. I think you do, because I've never really taught this whole process to completion. But it's my theory that you need to understand your body And normies don't understand how their bodies work. They don't understand how far you can push your body. They don't know what overtraining means. They don't know what undertraining means. They don't know anything. And you think, the worst part is you think you know your body, so you start pushing back on people. Oh, don't tell me what to do. I know my body. No, you don't. And that's the problem. You don't know your body. And so if you don't know your body, you don't know what your body is capable of, you don't know how to control your body, and in this process that I'm going to be guiding you through, it requires an incredible amount of body control. So I have high-level body awareness just purely by being an athlete and working out. And so this is something that I am able to reach. I'm not saying you can't reach it if you're not an athlete or don't work out, but I'm saying is in my understanding that I was able to leverage my body and control my body in a way that somebody who has never trained, who has never practiced, who has no idea what that means, like in a tangible way, not just theoretical way. If you don't really understand what that means, you're gonna have probably a more difficult journey. So this whole thing is kind of the whole, and I get you a touch of the idea of the process it'll take, because you're going to have to start training your body to change the way it acts. And this is going to be a long process, and it's going to take some time. So if you think that ED is possibly something that you are struggling with, you can take the test. That's a quick five question test on primalhair.com. There's an email list, and you'll also get any updates anytime we send out new videos and all that stuff, and you can keep up to date. So you can kind of keep up to date with the platform and the channel anytime we release new stuff. All right, thank you, and see you next time.